Hello, my name is Joseph Selbie, and I'm the co-author of a book called The Yugas. It's a fascinating depiction of the cycle of history that has been put forward from ancient times from India. And one of the things I particularly find fascinating about it is that in the ascent of the cycle, man gradually regains a number of different abilities, a different kind of awareness that we have lost in the descending cycle. As you can see on the chart behind me, there's a circle of ages, and each age is a yuga. And the highest age, Satya Yuga, is the spiritual age. The Treta Yuga age is the mental age. Dwapara is the energy age. And finally, Kali Yuga is the material age. And we've just come through Kali Yuga. Most of what we think of as recorded history was actually Kali Yuga. It began about 700 BC and ended at 1700 AD, 2,400 years later. So during this 2,400 year period of Kali Yuga, mankind's awareness was limited to the material. And it meant that art, literature, music, discovery, science were all very material. And the human experience of life was also very material in the sense that it was limited to the senses primarily. It was a time of very sort of earthy sensibilities, earthy lifestyles. But when we entered Dwapara Yuga, which we did in 1700 AD, comparatively recently, the consciousness of mankind in general began to appreciate that there was a subtle underlying energy beneath all matter. And we gradually saw this worked out in scientific terms with the 1905 publication of Einstein's theory that all matter was really condensed energy, and it's expressed in his famous equation E equals mc squared. So science literally came to the conclusion that all matter is energy in another form. This consciousness of energy has not only affected the sciences, but it's also affected us as individuals. We're more aware of our inner life force. We're more aware of the inner potentials, such as the subconscious and higher aspects of ourselves that work within us. They're subtle. They underlie the physical form, but we know that they're there. The next stage of development after Dwapara Yuga, which we will reach in ascending Treta Yuga, which is another 2,000 years roughly from now, mankind as a whole will understand that thought underlies energy, that the power of the mind can actually influence energy, which in turn can influence matter. In that era, we will expect people to have telepathic abilities to communicate with each other. But more, we expect that their mental abilities will give them a certain degree of control over matter itself. That what we think of today as miraculous may be more and more commonplace in that era. And then finally, mankind will enter once again the highest age, Satya Yuga, where we will understand that consciousness, infinite consciousness, and our own consciousness, which is a part of it, underlie thought, which in turn underlies energy, which in turn underlies matter. And that at that highest level, we'll begin to appreciate ourselves not as separate beings from this consciousness, but a part of this consciousness, and truly rise up into the highest potential that we possess as human beings. Now, in any age, at any time, in any yuga, there are people who rise to that full consciousness. And all of us are heirs to that, so we can discover it for ourselves. But what the yugas tell us is that mankind as a whole will rise to that full potential over time. I hope you read the book. I hope you'll find it as fascinating as I found it to write it. Thank you.